Who's on first?
Why do you keep asking me?
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's right.
Go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
That's the man's name.
Now, look, when you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it. And why not? After all, the man's entitled to it.
Who's entitled?
From the town that's still the pride of the San Gabriel Valley, it's Quintessential Covina, with your hosts back from their Vegas gig, Dave Cook and Marty Getz. Tonight's guests, Bob Everett and Dr. Richard Rohde of Wild Wings of California. Not to be missed is Covina Newsstand with Maragret Wolf, and also Jeff Snow with Jeffrey Plummer. And me, well, I'm Rob Van Reel.
And now here's Dave and Marty.
Hey, thank you, Rob.
Hi, Covina.
Hi,
Thank
Covina.
you, Rob.
We are back.
We're back.
How was your trip?
My trip probably about the same as yours, Dave.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you trip out?
We tripped out.
Yes, we did.
Hello, Covina. It's show number 29 for Quintessential Covina.
29.
Still embarrassing the entire city of Covina.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, we have a footrest.
I know, this is
We have
kind
an
of nice.
ottoman. It's
Ottoman.
nice.
Huh. I'd like an auto
I
woman.
thought you would finally get one.
Yeah. Oh, you got me stumped.
Oh, Marty, what are you doing?
Anyway. Our guests tonight are Bob Everett and Dr. Richard Rohde, and they're bird kind of guys. We met them last week.
Bird kind of guys.
And bird kind of guys. And we met them last week. They run Wild Wings of California. What it is like a bird rehabilitation kind of thing. They take care of injured birds and wayward birds. You know, birds are like disoriented. It's like, where the hell am I? And take care of them until they're ready to go off on their own. And we have tape of some birds. We have a bird going to be live in the studio, ready to peck our eyes out.
Yeah, he is.
And so that'll be real interesting. But up until then, what's the subject for today, Dave?
Well, I think it's very important to note that John Denver, the famous Rocky Mountain High type singer,
That guy. I
he's
remember
going
him.
to go up in space with the Russians.
You know, this was in the Times last Sunday, and I saw nothing about it in the electronic
You mean
media.
he's rushing to get up into space?
He's rushing to get up in space on a Soviet mission. But honestly, he's going to be going up on a Soviet space mission. John Denver, the singer. Oh, wrong graphic. And that's just real
What graphic
weird.
do we have up there?
He had he had the camera on me and had both names.
Shame, shame, shame.
But I mean, I thought you'd hear something about that. At least I didn't. With all
Well, he says he wanted it real quiet here.
Oh,
And
shh.
we're not supposed to say anything
Yeah.
about this.
Sorry.
You didn't hear it here,
Sorry,
okay? Don't
John.
if you tell your friends, just tell them you heard it on the newspaper. But actually, he's a jet pilot. Actually, that's not easy to become a jet pilot.
Well, it's not easy. All it takes is money. He's got it.
But I'm right. That's what I mean. It's not easy.
Yeah,
I couldn't
okay.
be a jet pilot for that reason.
Yeah, me too. Especially buy airtime on a jet.
But buying airtime on QC is expensive enough.
Oh, try and be a sponsor. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about that discovery? How about giving the camera to Rob and let's get that phone number out to the masses. So we can take some phone calls. Let's talk about the Space Shuttle Discovery. Let's talk about
the
John
1 year
Denver.
the 1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary of the Whittier Narrows earthquake.
1 year ago today that we actually had the big shaker. And Rob, why don't you give out that phone number right now?
Give us a call here at QC, Quintessential Covina. The number is 967-7353. That's 967-7353.
Call right now, and you just might be lucky enough to talk to one of these two interesting characters.
No, let's say idiots.
Idiots, yeah.
Roll tape.
Roll tape. Oh, that was. Oh,
I really had to
phones
duck
are ringing
that
already.
I know. There was a phone call a minute ago. Whatever happened to that one? Is there one waiting or anything? Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Mom. I'm home.
Hello?
Do we not have any volume tonight?
I can't hear. Hello?
Hello.
What the hell is that?
Hi.
Is it not? Come on, honestly, guys, what's
you hear
going
us?
on here? This is expensive television time, and I'm embarrassed.
Hello?
Welcome to Quintessential Covina.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Do we
There,
have- do we
there
have-
we
is
go,
this
there
on?
we go.
Could you check that around, please?
Rob's going to turn up our volume real
Yeah,
quick.
hold on. I'm sorry. Somebody might have.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Fine, it's Linda.
Herlinda, what do you say?
Not much.
We still can't hear very well, Barry, if you can turn up the audio.
Turn up the monitor here. Ain't nothing happening. Well, we kind of hear you through the control room, Herlinda.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, Marty,
Yeah.
is there something stuck to your shoe?
I just took it off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, while Rob was giving out the phone number, I noticed it.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's the value of our audience out there. Let you know when there's something embarrassing stuck to you.
Because I didn't want you to be a further embarrassment to Covina.
Well, I know. It's enough just being here and doing the show.
Embarrassing everyone.
Yeah, I know.
The American volleyball team just won the gold medal.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
They looked very
Yeah.
good tonight.
Yeah, they were
Being
good.
an old volleyball player myself.
Not that old.
Yeah, and did you?
Really? I never netted that you were one of those.
With jokes like that, I'm sure you won't net much more than $5 a week as a paycheck.
So what's going on, Erlinda?
Oh, not much. Missed you guys
Thank you.
in your trip to Canada.
To Canada. That's when we were in Canada, Dave.
That's right.
Remember?
I was in Seoul for a little while.
So he's a soul man. But yeah, and I was in I don't know, somewhere.
You were out of
State
it.
of mind.
But yeah, we had Rob Reiner directing last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It was a good
You
show.
couldn't tell the Rob Reiner touch there?
It kind of, didn't the whole show kind of look like Stand By Me?
The Princess Bride or something?
And I thought the video at the end was pretty good too.
Yeah?
Yeah, that little one. It had the music to Bright Lights, Big City.
Oh.
The last little video that they had.
Yeah, I don't remember because of course I wasn't here.
You weren't here. Oh, you didn't even get to see the tape.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's been a wild and wacky week here, Herlinda.
Oh.
Sorry, and I can't even pronounce your name. And I didn't get to do much this week,
Oh, I see.
so much less see what went on here.
Marty's got 2 kids at home now that he's taking care of, so it's keeping him very busy.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Hopping.
Hopping?
But so what do you think of the Discovery getting up there, Herlinda?
Pardon?
Discovery, the space shuttle.
Oh, what do I think about it?
Yeah.
I can barely hear you.
I can barely hear you, so it's fair.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's
Can
wonderful.
we work on this? Or, I mean, we don't have
Mr.
time.
Rhodes, if Mr. Rhodes is out there anywhere, please get
We
some
have
audio.
no audio at all in here. It's all through the door.
Oh, that's great. So should I talk louder?
Well, no, I hear you pretty well. But can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you better.
Okay, now we'll hear them.
Now we can hear the control
okay.
room saying, what's going on?
So what about the space shuttle?
I think it was terrific. I had just dropped off my little boy at school, and they were going 10, 9, so I was driving like a bat out of hell,
Oh, trying to catch it?
trying to catch it, and I just came up, and when I walked in the door, they were just taking off, so I was pretty excited.
One of these days, I'm going to make it down to Florida and see one of those.
I want to just make it to Edwards Air Force Base to see the landing.
I've seen 2 of those, and it's neat, but you don't see too much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's like you hear the double sonic boom, and then it's like there it is, everybody goes there it is, and it's like and it's down, and you saw it for a second, and you get that patriotic feeling, and
Oh, yeah.
and it's over, and everybody, and then 10,000 million people leave, and you're in a traffic jam with a bunch of drunken space fanatics.
Yeah, I guess seeing it from a takeoff would be a better...
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Don't turn that down. Oh, all right.
What? Can you
No, we
hear
got
me? I can
audio
hear
in
you.
here.
All right.
They worked it out. Our crack technical staff.
Oh, that's great.
Or cracked technical staff.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe if they can see how my face is a little hot there.
But yeah, I hope that
Iris down just a hair on that camera.
I hope that the space program gets back in line. And
Oh, so do I. And John Dever's going to be a cosmonaut?
Yeah. Read what it says
$10
there.
million worth.
he plans to fly on a Soviet space mission. He had a news conference at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, and he's been trying to arrange with NASA to fly on the shuttle, but they won't let him.
The Russians said $10 million if he can fly.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I guess if I were the Russians, I'd let John Denver fly for 10 mil too. But I just sort of, that's just sort of a trip.
You, John.
You know where they're going? Pretty far out.
Sorry.
Oh, you're so groovy, Dave.
I know, he is groovy, huh? Looking for fun and feeling groovy.
I'll let you guys go. I'm sure there are just tons of calls coming in.
Oh, yeah, I can just sense.
All the people that missed you last week.
I'm like Earl Statler. Yeah. Oh, let me know what I like about Earl Statler, him ripping the tape off his face. Ah! That was great.
Dude, man, I was there up close, man. It looked like Niagara Falls.
I know.
You guys have a nice evening.
Okay, thanks,
You too.
Linda.
Okay, bye.
Have
Bye.
a great weekend.
Yeah, a great stained glass woman there.
Yeah.
Appliques.
Appliques.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Who's that?
Hey, Marty. Dave, this is Pete.
Hey,
Hi,
what's up, Pete?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Pete. Hey, there you go. So how you guys doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Oh, a little tired. My back's bothering me right now.
You're
But
back. You're not taking any drugs for that, I take it.
no, that reminds me. Just say no, you guys.
Okay.
To
No.
everybody out there.
No.
Hey, while we're on the subject, over at Fashion Plaza, this is the whole weekend, they're having a safety fair,
That's right.
and they have I saw quite a few neighboring cities' police departments, and they have
Just for that, Steve.
their insane programs and talk about how to lock up your house with doors, proper locks and stuff. So maybe you guys want to send somebody out there tomorrow. Or something. Well,
That's like just tomorrow?
well, it's on today. It was on
Sure,
today,
today.
tomorrow.
It's a two-day
I don't know if it's
But
going to be on
today's
Monday.
over, Dave. So I'm saying it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's the last day.
I go through this with. Never mind.
We do this all the time, Pete.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
you're
yes.
talking about the shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, actually, we all got down and prayed. I was kind of expecting.
afraid?
Oh yeah, I prayed for them.
Great.
No, I know, but he was afraid that there might be a problem.
Well, in some ways, I was kind of expecting something to happen.
You mean this the other day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but then, really deep inside, I was thinking, nah,
Well,
be all right.
uh,
They're gonna make it. We're gonna be
well,
back in the space program.
NASA's fairly good. I mean, they got themselves into trouble with this shuttle program, but they had a problem.
Incredible track record, really, for what's going on, for what's actually, I think, my opinion, for what's actually happening. The kind of calculations. I mean, most people can't drive down the freeway without getting in an accident at some point.
Absolutely.
See, what amazes me is, it was a tragedy, and it was especially sad since we lost Christy McAuliffe, our teacher in space. I mean, that was a drag. But it took 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years, to get back into action. All sorts of improvements were made, and all sorts of policies were changed. There's a plane crash, every few weeks, and that doesn't stop the airline industry from, not from paying passengers. So it just amazes me that it actually took that long. Because everybody is just, they say, well, it's dangerous. Of course it's dangerous. You're going into space, but that's the risk you have to take. And these people are willing to take that risk. They're test pilots basically, and although there are some civilians involved, but I don't think it should have taken that long to get them back up. There's always improvements you can make, and there's always safeguards. There may have been some things on that launch day back in January '86 that they should have watched a little more carefully. So I guess it was cold and different things, but there's just an inherent danger in space travel, and you got to do it. So.
Well, what about you, Dave? What do you think about that?
Well, I was too long in getting back to it. My stepdad works for the space program at McDonnell Douglas, and so I had a chance to learn a lot about the space program and how everything works. Thank you, Marty.
Sure, I heard he works at McDonald's.
Well, even if it took maybe say 5 years or whatever, but see, I kind of feel that now they got more of a open line of communication with the upper echelon as far as what goes on with the program, and I think that's a good idea. As long as that we don't have any more accidents like that, I think 2 years, 5 years,
Pete, there is a actually what happened is they developed a whole other leg of the space industry now. There's a new regulatory board is what came out of the Challenger crash. It used to be that there was NASA and the federal government that were basically involved. Now there's a third party in, and basically it takes a third as long now to get anything done, and that's kind of tough. I know.
Well, the big problem is funds.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have them.
But the only thing that I found kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I think, in some ways, was that new escape system that they're coming up with.
That thing that hangs up the side and they parachute out. Well, they have to make they have to do something.
Almost. Yeah. I mean, I'm sending a letter to NASA to maybe if they would ever thought about using the emergency systems like from the B-52 bomber or the F-111.
What do you mean, ejector seats?
Yeah. Well,
that would do them no good.
Well, see, in the F-111, basically you're inside of an enclosed capsule type thing, like an escape capsule that is separated from the main aircraft.
Well, see, the only problem on the initial, I think, the first 2 flights of the shuttle, they had ejector seats, and that's fine if you're up in the upper level and you're either the pilot, the commander, or the engineer or something. There's astronauts though below that deck. And an ejector seat would do them absolutely no good because they have to blow through the floor and then through the outside.
Well, see, that's why I recommend the B-52 assistant, because on the B-52 you have up and lower ejection.
Well, so they'd still be going through a lower level below that.
It would just take a major redesign of the shuttle.
Yeah, they'd have to like blow out the side or something. I don't know. Yeah. It's just the way it's built. They're surrounded by a large superstructure, different levels, and that would be very, very impractical.
And realistically, it wouldn't even have saved.
Yeah, and that would have done them. That would have done them no good.
Yeah, it was just one of those accidents that happened. There was really nothing to do about it. You could have done about it. It was so quick.
Well, now I noticed that they're wearing the last few flights. They had been wearing just basically like jumpsuits. I mean, they had not been wearing any sort of protective high altitude suit either on launch or landing. Now. So starting with this flight, they have a new high pressure suit that takes a helmet, and it has a flotation device. It has a parachute built into it, and all sorts of safety devices, plus a fan. I guess that was one of the problems before the launch. Was one of the, I think Covey, he blew a couple fuses in his suit, and his ventilation fan wasn't working, so they had to replace some fuses. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you can spend $3 billion on something, and it takes a fuse to...
10-cent part, yeah. So, Marty, how's the 3 o'clock feedings?
3 o'clock feedings aren't too bad. She's starting to sleep a little bit longer during the night now, so it's getting better. It's not so bad. I mean, it's all worth it. I mean, at the time, it seems like kind of a bother to have to deal with it, but it goes by so quick. I mean, when I look at my son, it's just like he's almost 2.5, and I mean, I was just getting up in the middle of the night with him, it seems. So, I mean, it'll he'll be borrowing the car keys soon. So, it all goes by quick. It's all worth it. So.
I'm glad to hear that. Just one more thing, really. Halloween's coming up. We kind of remind the young trick-or-treaters out there about Halloween safety, and take your candy and stuff home, and let mom and dad take a look at it. Let them get their goodies first.
Never wear. Yeah. Don't take any candy from strangers, I guess.
Right.
Probably
so just kind of remind everybody about that. So what's coming on?
Don't wear masks that restrict your vision.
Hey, the guy you had on the show about the sightseer or whatever, told me about the white pickup or whatever it was. Be careful. Or, remember that when he had him on the show? Yeah. Well, you guys must have been gone. Must have been tape. No, you guys were there.
Whatever happened with that?
The guy was doing the mind reading or whatever.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. What about him?
I called in towards the end of the show and asked him what kind of vibrations that he was getting from him.
Oh, the white truck. Yeah, you mentioned the white pickup truck.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, I tell you one thing. I think I've seen every white vehicle around Covina.
But nothing happened?
Not yet.
Okay. Did he get some sort of timeline involved?
He said about 8 or 9 days, within the 8 or 9 days or something like that.
It's been that.
But then again, too, don't forget, school's still there and people are crossing the street, so their kids, so everybody out there kind of slow down because, I don't know what it is. On certain corners here in Covina, people just don't seem to want to stop. So just kind of remind everybody. Dave, look good.
Thanks.
A feel good.
Hey, Rob, what are we having on the show tonight? What's going on?
We're having the
Bob. Here you go. Here's the list.
The list. Bob Everett and Dr. Richard Rohde, who run it's Wild Wings of California.
Correct, Dave.
Thank you. It's a they take care of injured birds. It's like a bird sanctuary, and
he winged it.
They take care of injured birds, and then they send them back to their habitat.
Oh well, maybe he has something good to say about that.
None with flagella though.
No, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to get off the phone and watch the rest of the show. Just
Okay.
remind
I thought you
everybody
were
to
going
say...
to watch the game or something.
Yeah.
Nah, I got to watch the game, you know.
Okay.
But anyhow, just say no to the alcohol and drugs out there. You guys get a chance, go out and screen out the safety program they got there at the mall.
Okay.
They got fingerprint printing going on also. Hey, that reminds me, you guys are doing a video in printing at the Expo Fair.
Yeah, at the
Park,
Covina
right?
Business Expo, exactly.
Yeah, I found out about
Video
that.
ID and fingerprint kids.
Okay, well, you guys be cool and have a good weekend.
Okay.
Thank you. You
And,
too.
hopefully those guys make a good, safe landing. Was it Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday morning.
All right, I'm going to watch that. Yeah, got to do that. Fly your flag while you're out there, so
Okay.
you guys be cool. Later.
Na na na
Bye-bye.
na 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 na.
So, Dave, you're getting involved with that police stuff, huh? I'm going to call you Officer Cluck pretty soon there. Officer Harris, Officer.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Who's this?
this is Jody.
Hey, Jody. How you doing?
Jody.
What's up with you guys?
A TV show or something. How about
Big
you?
movie star.
Typical Saturday
Yeah,
night.
yeah, movie stars.
Oh
Me and
boy,
Tom Hanks.
Richard Gere, watch out.
What's going on with you, Jody?
Nothing.
Why
No?
not?
Life.
Huh? Life?
Life.
I'm breathing.
No.
No?
You're not breathing?
No, I don't feel so good.
I got a headache.
I got a headache. This big. So anyway, is that Freddie doing those? Where there's a will, there's an A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah.
I think Rob looks buff.
Buff.
See, that's what TV does to you.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
actually
they-
a 98-pound wimp.
Well, see, on this, they have a CCU. That's the camera control unit. Whenever they go on Rob, they turn up buff. They turn up the buff control, and he just looks buffer.
Pretty buffy.
Yeah, now, Rob, explain your shirt
Yeah,
there.
Buffy and Jody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just happen to be a graduate of Chapman College in the city of Orange.
Paw.
I have my BA in communications from there. I support
Chapman College sports and stuff like that.
Wow. So, you see it here, folks, that Rob Van Riel is a college graduate. Just goes to prove that anybody can do it. Sorry, Rob.
1908. On this day, Henry Ford introduces the Model T. How about that?
You know what, Jody? I've got a quick quiz for you.
Oh, is this live?
What's that?
You know what happened a year ago today?
Earthquake.
Yeah, 6.1.
Got a prize for him? How about you want Marty's brush? No.
Were you jarred awake that day or anything? Or what was
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
No, I was taking out the trash.
Taking out the trash. So you were outside.
Yeah,
What
it was weird.
What was it like out there?
Or
You didn't
something.
get canned when it happened, did you?
Oh, God. Please pardon Rob. I beg and pardon Nixon.
So, what do you guys think of the Olympics?
Well, they're like the thing to do every 4 years.
I don't know.
I think they ought to hold them here more often,
That'd
though.
be a good sport to watch them.
They're a lot
Yeah.
funner to watch in L.A.
Well, I think they're better for traffic than they have them here.
Yeah,
I don't
everybody
know, I'm
says
kind of getting sick of them.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I'm
it's
missing
over
all
tomo-
the shows.
It's over tomorrow. Hey, listen, NBC. I don't think they haven't had that much coverage of it. I mean, in reality, they do all this highlight stuff. They do a lot of
biggest
commercials.
complaint, I see someone was talking this morning at the 5K run, the Oktoberfest 5K run that I was at 6:30 this morning. Somebody mentioned that, like in a 4-hour period, there was actually 20 minutes worth of sport.
Well, yeah, and then when it's not on there, it's that egomaniac Brian Gumbel.
Yeah.
That Brian Gumball is really hard to chew on.
Oh God, he's awful. He's just like, yeah, I'm bad.
He always lays back like this.
Yeah, I know. He's
always-
like, I'm bad. He is.
Yeah. Like you?
Yeah, like Dave.
Thank you. Thank you, Jody. Hang up the phone. Oh.
Yeah, lose a call.
You don't
Well, we haven't given anything away.
What do you got there, buddy?
I don't know, Jody. You need a tan?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you get down here on Monday?
Or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, probably.
Nah, not necessarily Monday. It was just like, that's the first day.
Pretty
you can get
mundane
it.
thing to say.
Oh God, Dave! It's catching.
It's catching on.
Well, you can get a tan at Private Beach Tanning.
I can't help from saying this, but Carrie looks so funny. She's curls and
Who?
looking pretty ugly, my sister.
It's a terrible thing to say.
It is.
Sitting on the couch.
It is awful.
You mean
Ow.
was the host at one time, right?
Mhm.
No.
Well, gee, that's really nice to say on television, Jody.
Yep.
Really,
Oh,
really
boy.
nice.
She loves me too, so.
Yeah, she's ugly and she loves me.
Really question her taste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They can tape this, what I'm saying now.
It is being taped, of course.
Yeah, play it some more.
It goes in the archive. Yeah, I know. It's your camera, dude.
Jake Pritchard on that camera.
Jake Pritchard on camera 1.
Oh. And
anyway, Jody. So nothing else? Because we got to move along. You know, you gotta come up with your point. Like bam, bam, bam.
Easy enough there, hombre.
Because we got call.
Goodbye, I guess.
Okay. Well, have a good weekend.
And get your tan. Come down and get a tan.
Okay.
Be nice to your sister.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, that tanning is a dark subject.
Oh, man. It never ends, Dave. Hello.
Hello.
Who's that?
This is Mr. Weiner.
Oh, man. Where the hell have you been?
I don't know what came over me, but I kind of dropped out.
Well, everybody needs a break. That's why we weren't here last week. So.
Well, I'm back, and I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
And who?
David Dreyer.
What did he do or didn't do?
Okay.
And who wanted to drive?
Congressman David Dreyer, who
I know.
has headquarters right here in Covina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
33rd District Republican.
We're negotiating to have him on the show.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
So go easy.
Well, I'll tell you, he sold out.
Larry, go easy.
He sold out to the NRA interest.
No way.
I'm very happy about it.
Really? How did that?
He voted against the 7-day waiting period that came, before him in Congress on for handguns.
For handguns, yeah.
And I like to, say that I own a handgun myself.
Well,
you heard it right here. Larry Weiner, who lives at
you can give his address. That's fine.
He's protected.
Who's going over there?
No, I like to shoot.
Yeah. I like to shoot.
Yeah.
Anything that moves.
Yes. Right on Grand Avenue. Oh, that was gonna go.
It's unfair characterizations you're making.
I know.
I do feel that that's the least we can have. At least on a national level. Why can a person not wait 7 days before receiving a handgun?
Sometimes you just want to. Sometimes when you get a toy, you want to play with it. Next call.
So anyway, I'm not going to support David Dreyer anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. When we have him on, you can call in and rag at him.
He's really going to hang him out the dryer now.
Oh, hey, what do you think of the space shuttle?
I'm really jazzed about that.
Yeah, I can tell by your voice.
No, really. Although I am in favor.
No, I can. You know how he gets.
That's pretty excited for Larry. Yeah.
I am in favor of unmanned space program.
Well,
because I think it'd be more efficient.
Well, you mean totally? You mean you shouldn't have any?
No. I mean, I think we're
when possible.
They're
like launching a satellite.
I think it could be. I think we need both, but I think the money is more well spent with unmanned programs. We get more out of it.
Well, sure. You don't need life support system.
Yeah, you got to dish out too much for those satellites, though.
This show's getting harder.
This is.
Talk about your fallout.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Larry. Go ahead.
Sorry, we need like a 10-second recovery every time that happens.
Those puns are just killers.
So another thing I noticed is that
What's
East
on your
Germany
mind? East Germany
has far surpassed the United States in the medal count.
I see. See, now what's the big deal about that? So
well, I don't know. Something must be wrong with our Olympic program if a country with 17 or 18 million people, can outperform us. I mean, this doesn't seem right to me.
Well,
perhaps I'm a bit chauvinistic.
Oh man.
Where's Jeff
going? He's trying to scratch something. Well, see, I mean, it all evens out. Look, we kicked ass in L.A. I mean, but you know why? Yeah, you know why? Because there was no Russia and
a few other people decided to pull the old Jimmy Carter.
But see, that's just a balance of nature. I mean, we're doing real good. I mean,
we don't support our athletes either.
Yeah,
a lot of those places they just they have to work jobs, and like our interview with Alice Brown.
Alice Brown, who was part of a gold medal winning team, and we had an interview with her.
Thank you. You saw it here on QC.
With FloJo.
FloJo.
I think that's so funny they call her FloJo.
It's like it sounds like kind of an insult to me.
Yeah, it does. I wouldn't want to be known as FloJo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mojo.
Mojo, yeah. I got my mojo working, baby.
Hey, listen, you mentioned that today was the anniversary of the quake.
Remember
you know
that,
what,
huh?
Do you know what yesterday was the 50th anniversary of?
No.
Munich.
What?
Munich. The
Oh, you're kidding.
sellout of Czechoslovakia. Peace in our time. Neville Chamberlain. Ring any bells?
No. No. Remember, you're the one who raises the consciousness of Covina, not us.
Well, Dave remembered.
Kind of.
Dave, no, you said Munich, and he thought Olympics.
I was thinking the Olympics. I know.
See, I knew.
Yeah, okay.
Well, anyway, that's never mind. It was the 50th anniversary of the Munich betrayal, whatever.
It would behoove us to go and look it up, right?
Hey, what did you think of the debates? The debate.
Well, I wasn't impressed.
It was not
to be
a
honest.
debate.
I think they did not uphold their dignity very well, either one of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't very
Oh, is this when we
presidential.
bring out the one-liners?
Yeah.
I expected something at a little higher level. Although I think Dukakis came off a little stronger.
Well, I always hate the smirks that Bush gets on his face when he thinks he's like being cool or something. It's like, yeah.
I hate it's just the way that everybody's all the network sat there and told everybody how well somebody did or how well somebody didn't do.
Yeah.
And
What should we think?
why should we base our opinion on how well they perform in front of a camera? That's really not what the presidency's
that's
about.
how Reagan got in there.
Well, a little part of it.
That's so big
Same
part
thing
of it.
with like Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy, Nixon.
Kennedy,
Kennedy had a little more to back it.
Well, Reagan had a lot more to back.
Well, come on, you guys are so young. You don't even remember the Kennedy.
I remember that. I remember.
You studied it.
I was 8 months old when Kennedy was shot.
I was how old was I in '60? Well, I was 6 years old. I remember those. It was like a big part of my life.
Yeah, you remember Nixon came all white.
What is this?
And everything.
Panic button.
Nixon came out looking all white and pale. And
Hey, who was that?
Kennedy came out looking all tanned and Mr. Cool Young. And he really
Mr.
came
Cool
out.
Young, was that like the Chinese candidate?
Oh, you really had to use a noodle for that one, didn't you, Marty?
By the way, how's domestic
You
life now
checked
with
your weight, you
two
must
children?
weigh a 1 ton.
Domestic life. I assume you're talking to me.
Yeah, have you made an adjustment or?
Rob doesn't have any, so.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I don't
It's
have
just
blood. Don't speak for me, Dave.
it's a whole new experience with 2 children, and it's neat.
I've got lots of
Both
them. I don't know where they are, but
Both children are very, very. This comes up in conversation on the show. They're very healthy and doing fine and dealing with it.
good.
Cool.
Very
Nobody
good.
cares about my family or anything. But
Your 2 children
I don't have any children.
that you know of.
You got a couple eggs at home.
Yeah, you got eggs. I got a dozen.
Mr. Van Riel is not looking really sharp tonight. I was kind of surprised.
I'm wearing my
Kind of casual.
wearing my T-shirt from my alma mater.
It wasn't me.
And that does not uphold the dignity of the show either.
What dignity?
Oh, sorry.
See,
Chapman College, folks. It's a good college.
Good cow.
What was your degree in?
Communications.
Can you tell?
Well,
With a minor in puns.
I think you have a great career ahead of you in the field of communication.
Yeah, I was going to say, what field is that?
You've gotten a great start on this show.
In a field of cotton.
Yeah.
Outstanding in his field. There's a farmer outstanding in his field.
I don't know
Anyway.
He must have been drinking a lot of gin when he did that cotton joke.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Aw.
Jerry Mathers has to be. Well, Larry.
Anyway, it's time to keep moving
let's
on.
see.
Larry.
What tidbit can I throw to Larry here?
Tidbit for Larry?
It's got to
Well,
be hilarious.
Something nutritious.
oh, I know, Larry. You would love a tan, wouldn't you?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. The first 1851. The first Hawaiian stamp is issued. 1851,
Not bad. They were
That's
stamping
weird.
around Hawaii back then.
and it's President Jimmy Carter's birthday today. 1924. And in 18. Oh, wow! No way! No way!
I heard that Carter's a trilateralist anyway.
What?
A trilateralist.
Oh God! There you go. I'm gonna have to call you later again.
What did you mean by that?
Yeah. I know exactly what he means, but I'll just have to call and make sure later.
Yeah.
Trilateralist. Triidicalist.
And he's a member of the Council on Foreign Relations.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I feel bad about Billy.
Yeah,
I have an empty Billy beer can at home.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That might be worth something.
It's empty.
someday.
It's empty. It's not.
It would be worth more if it wasn't empty. But
I know. But a lady in Tucson gave it to me when I lived there.
So, either one of you have any position on what's going on in Russia right now? Gorbachev seems to be consolidating power.
We're just going to find out. I mean, he's been trying to get his policies going, and it's been slow going. And this is what's supposed to. This is the shakeup that's supposed to, break all the blocks that have been stopping his policies from going through and getting, the long bread lines gone. Well, we'll see. There's only one way to find out, and that's to give him some more time and find out. I think it's cool. I mean, if it's, I'm still personally, I'm impressed with Gorbachev. I think he's a sincere man, and he has the whole history of the socialist system, behind him. That he's not totally going to ignore that. I mean, who knows if they're still going to be out there trying to take over the world like they've been doing. But I'm very impressed with what he's been trying to do, and I think he's honestly trying to get in good standing with us, the Americans.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's time to go to a break.
Well, it was nice talking with you, gentlemen.
Nice talking to you, Larry.
I'll try to.
Anxiously awaiting another Freeman Reiner report. So.
Yeah, we are.
Canada. This is big time TV business here. We can't be waiting around.
Why are my hands sparkly?
Because you're sweating.
No. See that?
I don't know. I heard you go blind.
Okay, I bid you gentlemen a pleasant evening.
Okay.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Is this good work?
Okay, we need to go to a break.
We need to go to a break, and then we'll bring Maragret Wolf on.
Take one more quick call?
Oh, one more quick call.
We're going to make this call quick, okay?
Get to the point. Hello.
This is Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Is your brother ugly?
Yes.
He's weird, too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, how was the Amnesty concert?
The Amnesty concert was, we went there to actually take a camera in and get interviews with, big name stars. And what we did when we
name ones there.
Well, I got there early, and Dave was out on shooting something else, and he had the equipment. So by the time he got there, the press tent was completely filled, and there was no place to really set up a camera.
It was a circus in that tent.
It was a real circus in there. So we decided, Dave and I talking, and Dave's like, "Well, realistically, Marty,
aren't we here to have a good time?
Aren't we here to have a good time?" So we just we sat down. We actually had seats in the Coliseum.
Which we occupied for 10 minutes.
Which we watched Joan Baez, which was great. The rest of the time we spent walking around seeing very famous people, and that was cool. We went up to the roof of the Coliseum on top of the press boxes, and that's where all the radio stations, Coliseum, yeah. Up there with where the radio stations had their booths, were doing their live broadcasts. Gino Michelini and Dusty Streets
and Billy Jugs. A lot of really neat things going on. Met Martha Quinn.
Yeah,
I've been telling everybody.
Dave's almost.
I thought she was great. I've always liked Martha Quinn, the former MTV VJ. She was there.
She was like the greeter at the elevator when it opened up.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
It's Martha Quinn.
I'm amazed. But who do we see, Dave? Let's drop some names.
Bo
Bridges, Telly Savalas, LeVar Burton, and he's not
Margot Kidder.
Marley Matlin. What's his name? My Buick was eaten by aliens or whatever. Thomas Dolby.
Really? Yeah.
And his girlfriend, whoever
Kathleen
that was.
Beller. She was on Dynasty for a while. His wife, I guess.
And Richard Blade. And we saw the poor man again.
Van Johnson. Scott Mason from KROQ.
Van Johnson.
Oh, Debbie Allen.
And their husband. What's her husband? He plays for the Clippers.
Something.
Norm Nixon, isn't it?
Norm Nixon. Oh, Pat Riley. We saw Pat Riley. Yeah. He's got the gecko look.
Gordon Gekko.
Greed works.
What about Sting?
No, he was down in the backstage area. I don't think he came up and talked to the press.
Nobody. See, that's what we were hoping to do, was get interviews. Oh, we gotta go to a break. It's supposed to be a quick call. But But the concert itself was great.
Peter Gabriel was phenomenal. It's the first time I've seen Peter Gabriel in concert, and I was truly amazed.
We did not
really
stay
phenomenal.
for Springsteen because Springsteen didn't come on until 12:30 or something.
No, we left at 12:30 and Sting was still on. Remember, we left about 12:30 and Sting was still on. But Springsteen actually came on and started playing. He was supposed to play an hour, and he kept playing. They actually turned on the lights. The house lights were on for 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes of his set, because he wouldn't get off the stage.
There's house lights in the Coliseum?
I mean, they turned the field lights on. Remember, right before the show, and they turned all the lights on.
But anyway, yeah, it was cool.
I hate Springsteen.
Huh? You hate Springsteen? I'm not a big fan. I would have liked to have seen him just because I was there. But yeah, I'm not a big fan at all. But I missed him, and I don't feel bad. We saw Gabriel, and that was basically who I wanted to see.
Yeah, I was gonna go, so I thought I'd ask you guys.
But anyway, I'm sorry, but we do have to go. We keep getting the word here that we got to go to a break. So.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Jerry.
Okay.
Go hit your brother for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Kiss him for me.
Hey.
Okay, well, we'll be back with the Covina newsstand and Maragret Wolf after this message. So, see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Bye, Covina. See you in a few minutes.
Every 8 seconds, a home in America is burglarized. Last year in Covina alone, there were 372 reported cases of residential burglary, resulting in over $450,000 in stolen property. Protect your home from burglary. Install deadbolt locks on your doors. Provide adequate exterior lighting. If your neighborhood is not already involved, you can join Neighborhood Watch. If you'd like more information on how you can help safeguard your home against burglaries, call the Crime Prevention Unit of the Covina Police Department. Thank you.
New technologies in medicine. Improved methods in treating knee disorders. Watch Intercommunity's Healthcare Connection as it takes an in-depth look at arthroscopic surgery. What is it, and is it for you? With Dr. Max Matos. Meet 2 patients who have recently experienced this advanced procedure. That's the Healthcare Connection, Wednesday evenings at 6:30 through the month of October on Channel 33.
Did anyone ever tell you you're too good to be true?
Not only that I'm too truthful to be good.
Great line.
Z Channel has a great line on movies in September. We pick you up, thrill the living daylights out of you, cast you away in a paradise of big stars, big pictures, big players, big games. We're full of surprises, so give us a look.
Good evening. I've had a lot of time.
Get in step with LA's own Z Channel, your ticket to great movies and great sports.
Hey! Welcome back!
Hi! Hello, Covina. We're back. And we have our guest. This is Dr. Richard Rohde, and this is Bob Everett. And,
welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome to Quintessential Covina, gentlemen.
Good evening.
And
this is another guest.
This is Jamie.
Feathers a little ruffled there.
Yeah, Jamie. We get a Jamie.
Jamie's a red-tailed hawk.
A red-tailed hawk. Can we get a shot of Jamie, please?
Well, there goes Jake on Jamie there.
Okay, here we go.
Like,
here we go. Jamie's a handsome bird. Yeah, look at the camera.
Right over here, Jamie.
Anyway, it's a very handsome large bird.
Turn her around.
Red-tailed hawk. There we go. Yeah.
Can we get a better picture that way?
Yeah, there we go. I think Wayne's going to pick him up here on this camera.
Okay.
Wayne?
Mr. Wayne. Well, anyway, you represent Wild Wings of California, is that what it is?
That's correct.
That's correct.
And your organization does what?
Well, we rehabilitate and release our native wild birds back into the environment in this area, greater LA area. And we were formed because Los Angeles is quite developed and our wildlife is having a heck of a time trying to make it. Mm-hmm. And basically, up until a few years ago, most animal control agencies were euthanizing all wildlife brought to them. That's correct.
Gee, what a waste.
So we were sort of formed out of necessity.
How did you become involved in it? I mean, you just heard the story? And
well, about 12 years ago, my wife came across a little mockingbird that fell out of a nest, and she came to me and she said, can we try to raise this bird? Well, naturally, if you try to raise a little bird, it always dies, right? But I went to several bookstores.
Unless you're a mom bird.
Right. Mama bird does fine. But I went to several bookstores, and I came across a small paperback book that was full of misinformation, but the bird managed to live for about a month before it died.
In spite of you.
But that's sort of how we got started. But since then, it's grown at such a fantastic rate that we had to form a nonprofit corporation last year, and we have some very able and professional people in our organization now, like Dr. Rohde, and it's growing at about 30% a year. Our caseload now is about 300 a year. Next year, I don't know what it will be.
Wow. Do you have the facilities now to take on the ever-increasing...
Well, we always just manage to seem to make it to the next year. We've never paid one penny of salary to anyone, and we do depend on public support to finance our operation. And most of our support is from monthly small donations from people in this area. We have one lady, she lives in Baldwin Park, an elderly lady. She sends us $1 a month. I mean, it's probably her Social Security money.
99% of everybody else.
Right, but a lot of people are very interested in the environment and its well-being, and so they believe in what we're doing.
So how do you find these birds, or how do the birds find you? How does that...
Well, most of the local animal control agencies now are bringing us their birds. Okay, I would say over 99% of the birds that come to us are due to man's interference. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of birds that are shot, poisoned, hit cars, wires. Tree trimmers cut the nest out, and the babies. Just a variety of sources. A lot of individuals have heard about us, and they find a bird in trouble, they bring it to us. But basically, the animal control officers bring them right to our facility.
Okay, so you do work with local authorities in that way as well.
Well, that's correct. Now, you want to talk about the licenses and permits?
Yes, all of the birds that we take care of are controlled by state and federal law. And Bob and I do have both federal licenses and state licensing that enables us to do this.
Okay.
As an example, even the possession of a single eagle feather is against federal law.
Really?
And it's very strictly controlled in all aspects of it. And so it really represents a real privilege to be able to care for some of these animals, and it takes a lot of work to do it. It's rather expensive.
I was going to say, I would think.
What does it take to qualify to be able to get the permit?
It takes mainly a keen interest and a lot of time that you have to devote to it. These birds that we have, we may hold a bird for 3 or 4 months, and just the cost of feeding them is astronomical. They have to be fed each day. Water has to be provided. The caging has to meet certain requirements by state and federal law. Cage cleaning, and this goes on day to day. It's like having children, a whole nursery.
Marty can relate to that. He just had a second.
Of course you can.
Just not in cages.
Yeah, you're not? You took them out of the cages?
Yeah, they're probably out.
Oh, good.
You let them out.
That's good.
Got them under control. They are on tethers, though. Like
do you guys get any corporate sponsors? Any
well, that would be nice, but we don't have any right now. Yeah,
okay.
That would be great.
So any corporations or business owners out there, you
Fortune 500 companies
Yes.
out there, you can afford it. Come on, they're animals. They need you.
You can put your plaque on anything you want to donate
to.
So tell us a little bit about Jamie. What is?
Well, Jamie is her species name. Jamie is a red-tailed hawk, and her species name is Jamisensis buteo. So that's how we came up with Jamie.
Oh, okay.
Now, Jamie is an imprint bird. She cannot be released back into the wild. But we do several educational programs to schools and service clubs, and so she is one of our educational animals.
Imprint meaning what?
Okay, imprint is a psychological phenomena which occurs with birds of prey. Basically, they're not born, they're hatched. They're hatched blind, And at about 2 weeks of age, their eyes begin to focus. And so between about 2 weeks and 8 weeks of age, there's a psychological occurrence in their brain. It's not a very well understood phenomenon, but they imprint or identify with the parent figure. If man steals them from the nest while they're quite young, it's a sexual identification process. Now, as you can see, Jamie is quite tame. Now, tameness is not synonymous with imprinting. She is both tame and imprinted.
Is that something that you have instilled in Jamie, or is that just she just happens to be?
She's tame because we handle her a lot.
Yeah.
She's imprinted because a young man stole her from the nest.
What kind of lifespan does Jamie have here?
Oh, I don't know, 15, 18 years.
About that long.
About how old is Jamie, you think?
Well, now, as you can see, she doesn't have a red tail yet, so she is still in her first year.
Oh my gosh.
She was about 6 months old.
Really?
She was born in the spring.
Is Jamie fairly...
Kind of late for her to be up, don't you think, on a TV show?
Right. Yeah, they sleep at night.
Is she fairly full grown now, or...?
She's reached her adult size, and she'll be ready to release in several months, if she could be released. But she's imprinted, and so she will be maintained as an educational bird.
Okay. I'm sorry, but we have to go to a break.
Change tapes.
Sorry, Jamie, it's time to change a tape. So
when we come back, we're going to show some footage that we got last week up at the...
There's lots more after this.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They're all going crazy in there.
One in here somewhere.
Vince, have you lost your head?
That's what I'm trying to avoid, my friend.
But Vince, if we don't belly up to the bullseye, how else can we prove that safety belts save lives?
Oh, it ain't working, Larry. Nobody's listening.
Sure they are. Look at them. They're buckled up.
Hey.
Them too.
So maybe eating all these dashboard hors d'oeuvres is worth it.
For sure.
Hey, let's head back.
Hey, buddy, I didn't know you knew how to drive.
Drive? Whoa!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Thank you, Jake.
On the pictures.
Oh, I got a list, but we're back.
Hey.
So hello, Covina again. We're back with the Wild Wing group here. So, what's
the staffing like over? Is this
how many
a
people
full-time place, or is it someone's house, or?
Well, there's several facilities. Dr. Rohde spent quite a bit of money and has a very nice facility at his home.
Which is where?
I live in West Covina, and I have built a flight cage, specifically at this time is being used for an eagle, and the flight cage is 25 feet long and 10 feet tall.
Is that with a fan on it?
No fan.
No,
it's a 1-inch vinyl-clad mesh fence, and it contains a large golden eagle at this time, and he's able to fly back and forth in there and also capture wild rats. So he's being trained to do his own feeding and hunting, and being prepared for release.
Now, I just had a thought. Do you guys ever do any have any birds that might perform in movies or anything like that? Have you guys ever done anything along those lines? Because I know that occasionally, if birds are trained enough, that can be a good source of fun.
Yeah, we have some birds that are real characters, and I think each bird has its own personality.
Yeah.
But we're not into the movie business.
Oh.
Not at this time.
Yes, yeah.
Rehab. Well, do we have the tape up of the birds? Is that what's going on? Okay, this is a basic list of the order that they're coming up in. So you'll recognize them anyway, I think. So we have some tape we shot last week.
This is a picture of the golden eagle, which was taken in our flight cage. Very majestic bird. I think one of the most handsome birds that we have in America. And we've had him since March this year. He's just completing his first year molting, which is a replacement of feathers.
Okay.
And he'll be ready for release very soon.
Where would you release him?
Where's his Bob?
Well, he's going to be released out east at an undisclosed location. He came to
California?
He has to remain in California. The Fish and Game Department wants him there. But he was stolen from the nest when he was young. And he came in weighing 5 pounds, and his feathers were ruined. So he's over doubled his weight, and his plumage is in good shape. And like Dr. Rohde said, he will soon be ready for release.
When he's released, he'll be provided with a radio transmitter.
Yeah, really.
It's like a Linda
and he'll be
Blair
followed
impression there.
for a while. This is Mr. Bill, a California brown pelican, which I had the good fortune to assist in the care of for the last 6 weeks. He came in at a weight of 5 pounds and heavily infested with parasites. He now weighs 11 pounds and has a wingspan of 9 feet.
Oh my gosh.
And you, where'd you find Mr. Bill?
And he was found in the San Dimas Dam area, and he had no damn business up there.
Oh, he looks kind of stark naked there.
And he eats 2 or 3 pounds of fish every day.
2 or 3 pounds of fish?
And some of the fish is donated, and the rest of it comes from Alpha Beta.
That gets into money, huh?
Is that, oh, he's eating a fish?
And there he is eating a fish.
Yeah, he does it a couple times.
Well, he'll throw it up in the air and then swallow it and let gravity do its work.
So is he getting through the masher right there and
But they are on
filleting it?
Yeah, he's lining it up. And
yeah, he's just like getting
your fish bill must
taking
be pretty high.
But they're still on the endangered list.
Well, I remember a few years ago there was some very disturbed individual who was going down to the harbors and breaking off the top bill of the pelicans, which is the only way they can eat.
That is disturbing.
And I remember that in Dana Point was happening.
They starved to death. The prostheses that they attempted to attach didn't work out.
Oh, didn't? You're kidding. Ew. That's terrible.
Yeah,
oh, there's some span. There's some span of wings there.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Mr.
9
Bill.
feet.
Oh, no!
That's 3 yards to me and you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, sometimes we massage the food down into the bird with the larger fish.
Oh, okay. What kind of fish was that?
That was probably whiting. Very often we use mackerel.
Oh,
there's a bat.
Oh, that's a northern harrier, and it had an impact injury. They don't talk, so we don't always know the full story of why we have them. But he probably bounced off a car windshield, and he's going to be released probably in 3 or 4 days. They're very good flyers. They breed and nest up in the northwest.
It's like Crocodile Dundee, huh?
Yeah, he's on his winter vacation, and probably all of his generations for thousands of years before wintered in Southern California. But Southern California is getting to be a tough place to winter for these guys because of so much development.
Smog and all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wires and windows.
Now, what's a herring related to? What
Harrier.
Harrier.
Northern harrier is actually more. He looks like a hawk, but he's more closely related to a kite.
Dave, are you heard of heron?
Huh? Oh, funny guy.
And that's Jamie.
This is Jamie.
This is
Jamie. See yourself?
It's you.
It's you.
Yeah, we're trying to get.
Red-tailed hawks are probably the most common hawk in this area and in most parts of the United States.
That cursor out there. Yeah, we're trying to get Jamie to do a flight thing here, and
yeah,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
Will Jamie actually fly around and come back? And do they home pretty well?
Yeah, she is really a good bird.
You're a good bird.
They're probably the most numerous because they are one of the most adaptable and they're quite intelligent.
She does a great Linda Blair impression there. Impression, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is the great horned owl, magnificent creature and probably one of the most superb hunters there is.
Really?
They do their hunting just about the time the sun goes down. They have extremely large eyes, the same size as a human, and extremely good night vision. Most of them eat rats, rodents, perhaps some snakes, and a lot of rabbits when they're available. They have a voracious appetite. They will swallow a medium-sized house rat whole.
Wow.
Gosh.
Yowie.
Is that their claws there? How do they kill with their claws or with their beak?
They will kill with the claws, and they will pierce the rodent quite well until it's dead.
They have 40 pounds of pressure on each talon point.
And they would easily go through your arm.
Right to the bone.
And here's a close-up view showing the powerful talons. If we can get some focus.
There we go. It's happening.
There we are.
Around there.
That's killing power.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, do they use? Will they swoop down, pick it up, and do the rest of it in the air? Or do they kind of stay there right there on the ground with them?
Well, generally when they swoop down and land, they clasp one talon on the head and one on the body, and they'll wait till it's not wiggling, which doesn't take too long, and then they'll fly off with it.
Okay, this is a rhea, or South American ostrich. It has 3 toes, which differentiates it from the South African ostrich. This one stands, chest high. Loves tomatoes. You can see it eating cherry tomatoes here. And you can actually watch them go down the neck when it swallows. And just loves lettuce and salads, watermelon.
Well, it's not a meat eater?
Does not eat meat. And he runs free in the backyard.
Yeah, it's funny when it starts running.
We got him as a small baby, and he's just about full grown now.
Now, where is he indigenous to?
They come from mainly Argentina, all through there.
Good word, Dave.
Thank you.
And they're very mischievous birds. And if I'm working in the yard, he'll come up and pick up my tools repeatedly and won't be chased away. Not intimidated at all.
Personality, I
You got to run here pretty soon.
There he runs.
There you go.
We've got somebody chasing him. They have excellent plumage.
They're funny. It was funny.
They can outrun a man.
Tomato.
They can run much faster than a man, and they have very powerful feet, and their toes actually look like railroad spikes. Could be dangerous.
Nice
A
hole.
big bird bath there.
Does he ever stick his head in the sand?
They never stick their head in the sand.
That's all.
It's because it's only grass in the background.
It's all in the cartoon.
These are peacocks. I have 5 peacocks. They originally came as small babies, and these are now 1.5 years old. And all we do is feed them and watch them.
Now, will those be released as well?
No, these will just be kept on the property.
Now, how much acreage do you have to house all the birds?
I have about 1.5 acres, almost 2 acres. And most of it right now is being devoted to birds.
So the bedroom and a bathroom in the house somewhere.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of rats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of rats?
We maintain our rat property. This is a photograph of a great horned owl that was brought to us not too long ago. And when we zoom in on this, you'll be able to see that there's a fracture of the ulna. Actually, it's a double fracture of the proximal ulna. And right next to it, the white spot, this points out the fracture here. And it's at the joint, and this bird will never fly again.
Oh my gosh.
And this is the BB. And I removed that BB surgically. It was a copper-clad BB, and it essentially killed the bird. The bird had considerable bleeding in the wing, and it penetrated, and the bird did die of this injury. Some child with a BB gun.
Nice guy, huh?
Yeah. There's always those wise guys out there.
I was talking to a guy. He brought us a bird from Alta Loma, and a year ago he had a nesting pair of red-tailed hawks in his backyard, and a neighborhood teenager shot one of the hawks, and the other hawk couldn't support the babies in the nest, so they starved to death. So the remaining hawk took off, and since that time up to a year today, he's trapped 108 pocket gophers. So he's being inundated with rodents that the red-tailed hawks were keeping under control for him. So he is rather irritated. With
Anybody shoot the kid yet?
I think that's an important point you brought up. The barn owl will eat between 1,000 and 3,000 mice a year.
Yow. That's a
And
good
so they
job.
really help out.
Yeah.
But one of the problems is that over 60% of the barn owls will be dead within 1 year because they have eaten a rat or a rodent which has been poisoned. And on eating so many, even if one rat out of 500 were poisoned, the bird will die.
Wow.
And so at the end of 10 years, there's only 2 barn owls left out of an original 100.
Ooh. There's only 2 barn owls left?
Only 2 would be left at the end of 10 years.
Oh.
And normal life expectancy otherwise, without the consequence of man, might be 15 or 20 years.
Wow, that's sad. Is there a caller there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Pete again.
Hi, Pete again.
Hey. Yeah, doctor, I got a couple of questions. Your facility, is that a private residence?
It's a private residence.
Yes.
Do you allow like visitors, like children, to see these birds or the animals or anything?
From time to time, we've had some visitors come. We normally discourage it, in part because we have some birds that are on the endangered list and cannot be shown to the public. They cannot be put on display. And so a lot of it cannot be shown to visitors.
Yeah, and I know you were talking about contributions and stuff. Doesn't like the LA Zoo or something like that be somebody that would help out, or are you going to contact them regarding taking care of animals? Or?
Well, LA Zoo doesn't really take care of animals. They have animals that they care for that are on public display, but it is not a reservoir into which we can put injured and sick birds. You have to realize that many of the birds we have might come from the spring tree trimmers, in which they cut down the tree, the mother and father will fly away, and we're left with 4 or 5 nestlings. And they have to be fed until they're ready to go out on their own. They have to be taught to learn how to kill and take care of themselves.
Have you guys ever taken an egg? Can you?
I've never seen an egg, and I've never seen a nest. The birds are brought to us. We don't go out and get birds.
So nobody's on chance brought an egg that they knew wasn't a chicken egg and they weren't sure what it was?
Not yet, but almost everything else has happened.
You prepared for that?
I think so.
You know, I noticed especially in my backyard, because I have small children, and a lot of times they eat your sandwiches and stuff in the back.
Yes.
And we get those little small sparrows, I guess that's what they are.
Sparrows?
Yeah, the little, kind of like, some are all brown with a little bit of white speckles, and some have a little, like a dark kind of a hood. I think those are male and female. I think the brown ones are the female.
Sounds like a
house sparrow. But anyhow, I put out a lot of this wild birds you get like at Target or something like that. Is that good enough for them, or
sure?
I think that's an excellent choice.
The wild bird food.
Mm-hmm. They are seed eaters.
Crumbs of bread or something like that.
They're seed eaters, and that is a complete diet for them.
Yeah. Okay. And another thing is that I'm really fascinated with the birds of prey, especially the bald eagle. And some guy was saying something about his nature, the type of bird that I guess he will still get food from other birds and stuff like that.
The bald eagle, if he has a chance, he certainly will. Yeah, they're opportunistic. They do a lot of scavenging. They don't necessarily take live fish. If they see a nice dead one floating, they'll prefer that one. Simply, it's easy. That's right.
Uh-oh.
Am I still on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there's one thing that really fascinates me, especially like as a birds of prey, is they're up in the air and they make this fantastic dive. And follow, I mean, they're a quick pick up and a back a swoop, and they're in the air again.
That's called a stoop.
A stoop?
Yes.
Well, you can tell. I used to work on
And they
back
actually will dive bomb, and perhaps even on another bird, and they will come down with such velocity that with their closed fist they will kill the bird that they strike, and then grab the bird in mid-air. And they will reach speeds like a small airplane.
Right.
They'll be going 100 miles an hour.
On a stoop.
Yes.
Kind of an off-wall kind of a question. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
That's not fair.
That's not fair. You talk
really? All birds leave the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Dave Duck?
Dave Cluck.
I know.
Oh, Dave Duck. I know.
Donald gets it, or Marty gets
If it was
it.
his bird, you could be a chicken hawk.
And you guys are in your first year of taking care of these birds?
Robert's been doing this for over 12 years, and as far as birds of prey, I'm just finishing my first year.
And how long have you been at that? Are you a veterinarian or something? Or?
I'm a cardiologist and specialist in internal medicine in Covina, and I've been here for about 25 years. And previously had horses and cage birds, and now birds of prey.
Are you finding that a lot of your birds are birds of prey? They're
Well, we specialize particularly in birds of prey. And
those are usually the protected ones, aren't they? And that's what you usually deal with, the protected ones.
yeah, most of them come under Migratory Bird Act.
And a bird, do you think that Covina has a big problem with these these crows, or what kind of birds are they? Are they blackbirds, crows?
Well, the crows and the larger ones are actually ravens.
Ravens. That's
Yes.
what I thought.
Yeah, they'll get up to perhaps 29 inches long.
The wingspan of I can imagine.
Enormous birds. And they're also scavengers.
Scavengers.
They clean up the streets.
Yeah.
The French fries.
Scare
and-
anything off the street.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's you bring a good point up there. They do.
So they make a lot of noise, but they earn their keep, I think.
They're part of the food chain.
I just have to open up my roof and have them come in and clean up.
Yeah.
And what would you think would be a good house pet for as a bird type thing?
House pet?
Yeah. I know you get your parakeets and canaries. and
Well,
stuff like that, but
you have to go with a bird like that. It's illegal to have any of the native wild birds.
Which would be
they're all protected under
eagles
law.
and
Well,
hawks.
even down to mockingbirds, scrub jays. You can't catch a wild bird that's native to this area and keep it. They're all,
My favorite cage bird is a cockatiel that whistles.
Mom had a cockatiel.
Yankee Doodle.
Yeah. They're fun. They're very entertaining,
Yeah.
actually. They're kind of nice. My mom had a cockatiel for quite a while.
The parrots bite too much. I don't like them.
Where would one send a contribution to your hospital there for your birds? Do you have a place or PO
Yeah,
box?
Dave Cluck. I promise I'll give it to him. Just write the check to me. I'll
love
I'll
this.
cash it and get it on. Yeah, do we have that information? Maybe we can put on the screen real quick.
I don't know, did we get that CG'd up?
If people did want to send contributions, well, we can say it and then they'll type it
No,
up.
we don't have it on.
No.
You'll have to tell them.
Well, make the check payable to Wild Wings of California, and the address is 1837 Fern Ridge Drive in San Dimas.
And that's fully tax deductible.
It's fully tax deductible.
What's that zip code?
The zip code is 91773.
That's not a religious organization, right? Birds of Prey.
Look at this, just as we speak.
1837 Fern Ridge Drive. There we
San
go.
Dimas, California.
You didn't put Wild
This is
Wings of
really
California.
good. This is How to Type by
That's,
Andrew Shin.
The name of the corporation is Wild Wings of California.
91773 there on the zip.
There we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, how many organizations are there like this?
In LA County?
Yeah.
Martine Collette operates the Wildlife Way Station in the San Fernando Valley. Now, she specializes a lot with mammals. She has a lot of exotic animals, some of them lions and bears.
Oh my.
But she does handle bobcats, some of the larger carnivores. So we more or less act as a referral system on the large carnivores because she is equipped with those cages.
Mhm.
And
Does she refer to you guys? People to you guys?
we have received birds from her.
Great.
So I wouldn't exactly say we work together, but we are associated with each other.
Now, are there any that you know of? Maybe several across the nation, but people that do exactly what you do, just care for wild birds.
There's getting to be quite a few well-organized and staffed wildlife rehabilitation organizations. And they're growing quite quickly because people are becoming more and more aware of the environment and the importance of its healthy survival. I think possibly when they talk about the ozone layer or the drought and the greenhouse effect, and people are starting to realize how important a healthy environment is, even to our own survival.
Yeah, especially.
I'll never forget what that guy from NASA said, or JPL had said. We had a guy on from Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Randy Wesson, with 2 eyes.
2 eyes.
And he was talking about, people were calling up about UFOs and that kind of stuff, you know, if they really could happen. And he said, well, maybe even if they did, you know, who'd be interested in us? We pollute our environment and we poison our bodies with the things we eat. And
yeah.
He makes a very good point, and that really hit home to me, really understanding that.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, you got anything else?
Well, just one other little question. I saw a picture of a golden eagle that you had there.
Yes.
Other than with the bald eagle having the white head, is there any other differences between the two types of birds other than?
Yes, the birds really aren't related. The bald eagle, our national emblem, is really related to the sea eagles, and he hunts mainly fish. Most of them are fish that have recently died. He doesn't really plunge in and grab them like the pelican might. Mm-hmm. And you can tell them apart because on the bald eagle, the feathering on the feet is missing, whereas on the golden eagle, there's full feathers all the way down.
Oh, okay.
And the bald eagle has a smaller head and not as majestic looking as the golden eagle, which feeds on rodents and rabbits. Okay. So they're very different in their
much like Rob Van Riel
in their eating.
Very different.
Well, without getting any trouble with the government and stuff like that, I know you said the bald eagle is on the endangered species, and in my room here I have a lot of statues and pictures of eagles, and I've always wanted to get an eagle feather. But
that's strictly illegal. Even the possession of a single eagle feather is against federal law.
Is there an imitation kind of feather I can get somewhere? Or?
Of course, and you can probably make your own. While we're on that point,
how do you do that?
The golden eagles and bald eagles that die are all turned over to the special agent with the Department of the Interior, and these are all sent to area near Pocatello, Idaho, soon to be moved to Oregon. And those birds that are suitable for museum display will be mounted by a taxidermist. And the feathers from those that can't be mounted will be offered first to the Indians.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my next question. How is it the Indians are able to have all these feathers for decorations?
Same way they can take peyote.
Peyote. Well, we don't get into that. That's a different stuff.
No, I know. But they're Indians.
And salmon from the river.
They have to fill out several forms and a lot of red tape in order to receive the feathers. But if they're qualified and pass all of the requirements and fill out all the proper forms, then they can obtain and keep eagle feathers.
Would that be any tribe or certain tribes? I mean, I'm curious. Is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is there any books or information maybe available that I might be able to read on as far as the eagles and the birds? Just go to the library and check out, just look around, or anything that you've seen that?
Sure. I found one very good place, which was right on Citrus in Covina, the used bookstore.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
And I've bought 5 or 6 excellent books on birds of prey and eagles and migratory waterfowl from that store at excellent price.
And what would you say to the public now as far as having our birds out there flying here? What would you just say to the public about? Just sit back and enjoy them, or?
Well, yes, or our kids will never get to see them, or their children. We know that on saving birds and putting them back into the environment, that 1 or 2 birds doesn't have a great impact. But the education and the exposure to the public is what really makes the difference, and it's only through education of the public that we're going to have preservation of the wildlife and a return to proper numbers of these beautiful birds.
So you say the wild bird seed that I guess department stores and stuff, that's a pretty good stuff to throw out in the backyard. What about, like I said, like breadcrumbs and that sort of thing? Is that?
I think that's fine. The seeds are usually acceptable to most birds.
Okay. Well, you guys keep up the good work, like what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'd like to hear more about you.
All
maybe
right.
send a letter to one of the congressmen or something. Maybe they can figure out some more information. Maybe get some more support.
Great.
Okay,
So
Marty and Dave, I'm gonna sit back and watch the rest of the show and
Okay.
let me talk.
Thanks for the call, Pete.
Thanks for both calls, Pete. Now he was wondering about, he wanted his kids to see the bird. Now you do presentations at schools and things,
That's
so
correct.
don't you?
Mm-hmm.
With
So-
particular birds like Jamie.
Right.
Other ones you couldn't do that with.
Well, we have a great horned owl, an American kestrel. We have several birds that we take.
So
on the,
could they then contact you at that same address to arrange for that, or how do you?
Sure, that address will do fine. Is there a phone number on that? You want our phone number?
Yeah. Okay. Ready for a phone number?
While we're getting the phone number, is the caller there?
Uh-huh.
Hi, who's this?
Diana Newberry.
How are
Hi,
you?
We don't need last names. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, though.
It's okay, Ms. Newberry.
I say my last name, and it's very embarrassing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can say yours too.
Those are beautiful, beautiful birds. Is there any way, like, you can make arrangements for one person, say, to go in
Now,
and
if we
sketch-
make an exception.
sketch those birds to draw them?
To sketch them?
Uh-huh.
I think that possibly that could be arranged through Bob here, through Wild Wings. Rather than calling me directly, I think it should be coordinated through the wildlife chapter.
Yeah.
What do you say, Bob?
Okay, well, let's
strike it. Let's negotiate. Now, if you
Yeah.
could say
What's in it for them, right?
2 drawings, leave one there with Wild Wings that they could use as their logo, and then you can
Somebody
take
doesn't
some
draw with a feather pen, right?
Yeah, you can call area code 714-592-4900.
4,900?
Yep. 592-4900.
All right, thank you.
No guarantees, though.
Oh, yeah, well, I can try, right?
Right. You
It
can try.
doesn't hurt to ask.
Right. I got this far, right?
Yeah.
What about, who would you call, like, I met one lady that had a ferret. Now, I know those are illegal to have
Right.
in California, but who would you call if, because I've seen a lot of weird things with animals.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you call
Especially in Covina.
that incident? Well, all over. Not just Covina.
Now, who would you call, like, to as a
For
authority?
help for them, or like if,
Who would you report them to?
yeah.
Okay, who would they report them to? Department of Fish and Game?
That's right.
Hey, what a guess.
Yeah.
Department of Fish and Game.
Oh, that's weird.
Or the game warden.
Yeah, the game warden. That's the same thing.
Here, Mr. Richard?
California State Department of Fish and Game. It's in the phone book.
On the white pages on the state of California.
What's,
Sound like you have experience with this, Dave.
one time it's on Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
I used to live on Dexter, and we had a possum problem.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
What were they doing? What was the problem?
Well, there were lovely
The roof.
creatures. They weren't doing anything. It's just
Just
that
there?
the neighbors were getting mad because there were so many of them.
There were ugly creatures, you said?
Dave?
I mean,
They're nice
some
creatures.
people live on my street I don't think are real attractive, but I don't really try to get rid of them.
I'm
sorry, Dan.
Have you seen this show before?
Uh-huh.
Did you see the show we had a possum on here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, that possum that we about
story.
3 or 4 months ago, I was out in my backyard and I saw a possum. It was during the night, and so I went out and got a light, got my camcorder out and taped it, and I showed it on the show the next night.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, the King family, no relation, Bob King and his kids, they came over and they had one that they have.
That's Todd.
Todd, yeah.
Okay.
And they brought it over
He's
on the show.
associated with Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bob King was on the tape of the game.
Yes.
Right.
And anyway, I saw that. I believe it's the same one. I don't know how many there are, but I saw that last night.
Really? With sunglasses and limousine?
Yeah, right.
Hey,
right.
how you doing?
It was up on the fence at the back of my driveway.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. You know.
Todd's also raising a raccoon that's about ready for release.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe it's where they release it. We should bring it by.
This is not so bad.
Well, opossums are one of nature's litter getters. They're carrion eaters. In other words, they eat dead things.
So do I.
Opossums have the most teeth of any animal in northern North America, but they're not carnivorous teeth. They're made to eat nice, soft, decaying, mushy things.
Yeah, gross.
So, well, okay, they clean up the environment. When you walk through the forest, you don't smell any bad, rotting things around. They're all cleaned up. They serve a very important function. They're also the only marsupial in North America. They have a pouch like kangaroos.
Nocturnal marsupial.
And all of that.
Nocturnal marsupial, correct. Yeah.
Right.
Well, during that period, one of my neighbors was threatening to hurt the possums because there were so many of them. And I called all over.
Well, you could probably talk to Fish and Game, and many times they relocate animals like that. They really do. They relocate them.
Call John Lentz, Chief of Police. Tell him Dave Clucker.
About these possums.
Yes, he calls me Cluckerman. And just
most of the animal control agencies do have live animal traps, and they will come out and set traps and turn them loose up in the hills.
Well, that's what the Dogtown said, that they said they'd kill them.
They said they would kill them?
The police station.
This was
basically Covina Police.
Covina?
Don't call John Lentz then.
Well, Covina Animal Control, they're right there in the police station. They generally call us, and we go down and get most of their birds.
They said they set out traps and put them to sleep. But this was like
that was for the...
How long ago?
About 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Well, things have changed.
Well, yeah.
God,
Things have
4 years
changed.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't think they would say that today.
That really made me mad. I was furious over it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we formed, because most animal control agencies were just putting everything to sleep. They didn't want to bother with it.
That's horrible.
But I'll tell you what, though, it takes quite a bit of expertise to work with all of these different animals and birds. Even most veterinarians aren't skilled at taking care of wild birds. We got in a baby barn owl about a month ago. Came from a veterinarian in the Long Beach area. And as soon as we got it, about a day later, it died. It died because the veterinarian gave it water. And if you give a bird water, you have to know what you're doing. He got some water down into its lungs and air sacs. Birds are built all together. They're different than mammals. They have a hole at the base of their tongue. The hole is in their tongue. Now that's the airway to their lungs.
So you got to get water here.
If you give it a drink of water, you got to make very sure that it doesn't go down that hole. No, it's quite a specialized thing. Dr. Rohde, when he first got interested, I think he ordered $400 worth of books and read incessantly for how many months?
Yes, and there's actually very little good information that's helpful for the rehab individual in the bird
So
books.
you're thinking of writing one?
I was going to say
because most of them are towards the parrot, and where the veterinarian makes his money is with the cage bird.
What was your name?
Diane.
Diane, would you like a tan or a lunch at Carl's or something?
I'll take the lunch.
Okay. You can come down Monday or sometime.
Thanks
get down.
a lot.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your call.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, we got to go to a break. So we'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll close out with the bird family.
We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Anyone ever tell you you're too good to be true?
Not only that I'm too truthful to be good.
Great line.
Z Channel has a great line on movies in September. We pick you up, thrill the living daylights out of you, cast you away in a paradise of big stars, big pictures, big players, big games. We're full of surprises, so give us a look.
Good evening. I've had a lot of time.
Get in step with LA's own Z Channel, your ticket to great movies and great sports.
Hey, Charlie, looks like you could use a shoulder to cry on.
There's one in here somewhere.
Vince, what are you doing?
Getting out of the crash dummy business. No way I'm ending up like Charlie there.
But Vince, how else can we prove safety belts save lives?
We could buckle up.
How many times I gotta tell you, we're dummies. We don't wear safety belts.
Vince, Larry, your number's up.
Could save a life.
No, I'm with you, partner.
Yeah.
Vince, break a leg.
A regular comedian.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Vince, have you lost your head?
That's what I'm trying to avoid, my friend.
But Vince, if we don't belly up to the bullseye, how else can we prove that safety belts save lives?
Oh, it ain't working, Larry. Nobody's listening.
Sure they are. Look at them. They're buckled up.
Hey.
Them too.
So maybe eating all these dashboard hors d'oeuvres is worth it.
For sure.
Hey, let's head back.
Hey, buddy, I didn't know you knew how to drive.
Drive? Drive? Whoa!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
So much for you, Marty.
For me, what, you gonna learn a lot from a dummy?
I'm sorry. That's
Thank you,
mean thing
Dave.
to say.
That's very mean, Dave, especially since. Oh yeah, what's Jamie? What's that action about?
She's got her. She keeps doing that with her.
Is that like an action of concern? Here?
No, it shows that she's comfortable here, and so she's just resting on one leg.
Thanks for lying to me and making me comfortable.
Yeah.
She's about to attack.
Is that what you wanted to hear? That's for
no, I like the
birds.
truth. I like the truth. I want to be. I got a motorcycle helmet here somewhere.
Let's give out that phone number real quick. I'm sure there's some viewers out there that have some more questions.
Yeah, we got a few more minutes to take calls before we go to Jeffrey Plummer with Jeff's notes. So,
Rob, you want to give out that phone number for us?
we got to get a shot first.
Give us a call here at Quintessential Covina. The number is 967-7353. That's 967-7353. Give us a call at sheer excitement.
What a voice, huh? What resonance there?
Sheer excitement. And
now,
we'll give that address out for you guys too before we go. So.
Yeah.
Okay, and if there's any schools that would like to have a wildlife presentation, give us a call.
Pete, you hear that?
When I was in school, I think every day was kind of a wildlife presentation.
In San Clemente.
San Clemente High School, yes. Now, is this a full-time job for you, or do you have a real job?
I have a real job, yes.
And you live in San Dimas?
Yes, I do. This is an avocation. And my wife is also very involved. She's the one that does most of the classroom presentations. And her and Dr. Rohde are the main laborers.
You take all the credit and you do the TV show.
Yeah, right.
Why not?
Hello, caller.
Hi, my name's Linda.
Hi, Linda.
I have a question for Dr. Rohde. I'd like to know if he's ever been severely bitten by one of his birds.
He laughs. Jeez, yeah, severe injury?
Yeah.
Not yet. However, if you recall the pictures of the golden eagle, we go in and we will take that bird down for a physical examination every several weeks. And when we do it, we wear a fencing mask, a welding coat, and heavy gloves. And we have great respect for that bird. There would be no way that we could get the claws off if it latched down on us. No way. You'd have to throw the bird up in the air and just hope you'd let go. The hands are as large as mine.
And if he decided to grab on and not say, "I'm not going to let go," you could just spend the
Won't let
rest
go.
of your life with a bird on your arm.
Yes.
Wow.
And several years ago, a park ranger was killed by a great horned owl that landed on his head and apparently pierced one of the arteries on the side of the brain, and instant death from a bird that only weighs several pounds. They have very powerful claws. Now that would be an accident, may not ever happen again, but they can inflict severe injury.
Also, is your family, your whole family, involved in your care of the birds at home?
Very much so.
Whether they like it or not.
Whether they like it or not.
You don't have much to say in the matter.
Yeah, you got all these birds, you sort of have to get involved.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Linda.
Yes.
Oh, great, we got you. Would you like dinner at Carl's or lunch at Carl's or a tan or anything?
Sure.
Okay, or you can get both.
Okay.
We can do that.
We'll give you both, Linda.
We have that kind of pull.
Are you a new viewer, Linda?
What a host.
Pardon?
Are you a new viewer?
No, I watched you once or twice before.
Uh-huh. Like what? Who was on?
Dick Dale.
You saw the Dick Dale show?
Yes.
All right. We'll get him back sometime. He was a cool guy.
Dick Dale, king of the surf guitar.
Oh, yeah?
Dick Dale and Deltones, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
right here on this very stage.
Well, come on down. You know where the cable office is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Come by Monday or Tuesday this week, and there'll be a little envelope waiting for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Linda.
So that was lunch at Carl's and a tan for you guys in the control room.
Wow.
You got to write that
They're
down.
taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you going to get that Carl's dinner into the envelope?
I don't know.
You know?
It's like, actually, it's.
We're gonna start getting bags from them.
Okay. Anyway, support wildlife, throw a party.
Yeah,
Right.
I've seen those bumpers.
And we've done
save a
that.
tree.
We've done that as educational things, and had basically the public come when we have birds on display, and we may have 10, 15 or more different birds and other exotic animals, and so we do put on some rather large shows each year.
It's just to raise awareness.
Yes, and to raise some funds.
Yeah, well, of course, that would
Not
be
just
All right.
awareness.
one of
now.
the benefits there.
Okay,
Now,
Dave.
would you get like a lot of city dignitaries, that kind of stuff? Do you try to?
We try.
I do a lot of fundraising efforts, is what I was going to say, and when you invite Pete Shabarm and David Dwyer and those guys, money counts.
Well, I'd like to get some money out of Pete Shabarm. I'd like to take
He owes me money.
I'd like to take
I know
the
that
San
guy.
Dimas Nature Center, the north part, and actually call it Shabarm Sanctuary.
I
You
thought
know?
it was going to be, wasn't there?
Well,
a plan?
I'd like to get together with him and Robert here and Judy and maybe talk about development of that as a more official educational facility for the area.
I know, it's a great area to do it up there. I think it's.
Well, we have a 50-foot flight cage up there right now. We do have quite a nice little facility up at the San Dimas Canyon Nature Park for caring for wildlife. So.
Well, let's give out the address and phone number once more before we get out of here. So we're gonna have to
National Wildlife.
wind this up.
Wild Wings, National Wildlife. That's another show we'll do.
Donation information.
That's actually our regular show.
About their service and about having a show at your school or something like that. You can
Did you
contact
guys have
them.
good response from service clubs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a show for the Covina Historical Society probably about 4 or 5 months ago. It was well received. I enjoyed talking to them. Interesting group.
See, this concerns
Stretches the
me.
wings.
I feel like David Letterman is like, keep away from me.
He's just stretching his wings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Stretching
that's
muscle.
cool. All right.
Lighten up.
He's comfortable.
Well, thank you, Doctor, and thank you, Bob, for coming down here.
I'm delighted that you asked us.
Well, it's no problem, because it was cool. It was cool going down there and seeing those birds, and
they didn't bring me.
And then Jim. Well, you were like you were down at the boat or something.
Oh,
we'll let you come next time. Okay, Dave.
You can come down and
Yeah,
sketch.
that's what they say when you find the name with Cluck. That no, we can't. We only take wild birds. You know, these egg-producing ones. Sorry.
So anyway, well, good luck. I hope you get some money in.
Thank you. I do too.
Anybody out there? Come on, Covina. Let's support these. Jamie, how you doing, Jamie?
Jamie's doing cool.
Jamie's cool.
So anyway, thank you, and we'll be back in a couple minutes with Jeff Plummer and with Jeffrey's notes. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye.
From January through June of 1987, 42 children have died in the state of California as a result of child abuse. Hi, I'm Detective Jerry Crawford from the Covina Police Department. As a parent, you should know that approximately 100,000 children are reported to be sexually abused every year in the United States. 85 to 90% of all parents who are abused as children will become abusers themselves. Learn to recognize potential problems within your home, such as frustration, rejection, poor self-image of one or both parents, social isolation, and recurring overpunishment. Find out what you can do to stem this tide of child abuse by calling the Covina Police Department at 331-3391.
We're here to help, thank you.
Hello, this is Robert Orsi, host of Families Today. Our 30-minute program explores contemporary parenting issues. Each show takes an in-depth look at a single subject. Program topics address solutions to pressing problems or resources to improve family life. My 20 years as an educator and psychologist have given me the opportunity to develop a network of successful professionals able to provide families today with the best information. So please join us on Families Today.
Every Wednesday at 7:30 here on Channel 33.
His best friend was killed in a car accident because he was drunk.
Now, every time we hear the siren, we think it could be David.
I was terrified. I found things in his room I didn't want to find.
I was afraid of what she might do this time. When I opened the door, she was standing there with a piece of glass in her hand.
You love your kid, but you're afraid for him. Call Kids of Southern California before it's too late.
And now for the second week in a row, here's Jeffrey Plummer with an edition of Jeff's Note that you will not forget. It's made just for you.
Well, welcome back to another week. It's kind of different than hosting the show. Actually, I get a couple minutes here. We're kind of pushed for time, so I'm just going to go straight into the video. I'm going to introduce a band called 10,000 Maniacs. They canceled their concert last month, and they're going to reschedule their concert for October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd at the Wiltern Theater. There's still tickets available at the Wiltern Theater for November 2nd. And after this video, I'll come back with a concert calendar, and I'll tell you what's happening throughout the week. So here's 10,000 Maniacs on QC TV. That was 10,000 Maniacs here on QC, and they're going to be in concert at the end of the month. But I'd like to tell you who's going to be in concert during this week. So if you can roll the concert calendar, I'll give you an idea. On the 2nd, we have Kenny Loggins at the Greek Theater. He'll be putting on a good show. And on the 3rd, Monday night, George Michael will be in his second night of a 3-night stand at the Forum. And on 4th, Adrian Belew and the Bears will be at the Coach House. And on Wednesday the 5th, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Jamie's doing some spreading her wings right here. On the 5th, Stevie Ray Vaughan will be at the Greek Theater. And on the 6th, Billy Bremer from Rockpile will be at the Music Machine. And on Friday the 7th, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin will be at the Forum. And that's it for this week's QC concert calendar. And what I was laughing about was Jamie was spreading her wings right here, and she was just...
That's not all she did. Yeah.
We don't know what she did. But now we want to thank our sponsors, don't we, Rob?
We sure do. Because we've got to pay our bills, right, Jamie?
So we'll run our sponsors right now, and we'll thank our sponsors.
Private Beach Tanning at 228 North Citrus Avenue. The number over there is 339-5461. Go down there and get a good tan.
Covina Chamber of Commerce at 967-4191.
McMurphy's for Eating and Drinking, 915-7726. Thank them very much for all those delicious sandwiches.
Very good food.
And beers that you were drinking earlier, I saw. You were guzzling the Coronas. Yeah, I saw you. Studio 7 Fashion Career College, 915-1711. And thanks to them for just doing such a fantastic job with what they had to do with Jeff's face, you know.
And graphics, too, for us. For a sign back here.
With that, will you?
Graphics, too, for a sign in the background. At 331-3274.
8274.
8274, I'm sorry.
Okay, keep people out of here.
Agape Buttons and Badges at 2041 East Gladstone in Glendora. The number is 714-559-7992. Quit hitting me in the stomach, Jeff.
We do need some stinking badges.
Badges, Agape.
Yep, good badges down there.
Carl's Jr., who cannot play softball, but they make great salads.
They do.
Challenging us. And their drive-throughs on the wrong side, but
they never follow through with their threats.
No.
Oh no! Well, that's required.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there we are. Hello. If you're wondering what we're snickering at or chuckling at, is Jamie is making.
Yeah. If there's any carpet cleaning services out there who'd like to sponsor.
Jamie do what she had to do.
Jamie, did you enjoy the show today? What do you think, Jamie? Had a good time. She had. I keep saying.
Jamie, you going to Fridays afterwards, or?
Fridays, yeah. The store club or something.
Well, interesting. Jeffrey, what did you think of the show tonight?
Very good show.
Very interesting. You got to watch it from outside.
Yeah, I was there last week when we filmed that, and it was.
That's right.
I had a bird's eye view, and it was really good.
We kind of piped it out to the plumber. Huh?
Well, well, let's wing our way out of here.
Yes, and I'd like to thank our guests for being on very much.
Yes,
Dr. Rohde,
very nice people.
Mr. Everett.
Mr. Everett.
Made us feel welcome at their house.
And the rest of their entourage who's here.
And if for some reason, if you guys are interested in making a donation, you can get a hold of them through the phone book, or you can call here, and I'll be happy to refer you to them. And they survive purely off public donations, and these people like Jamie need to eat, so we need to take care of them.
And can I have local bands call you if they want to leave a message for me? Can they have come?
You never turn their call.
If local bands want to donate to Wild Wings, that's fine too.
I've had ads for bands, and everybody's afraid to come on the show because it's too big of a show. So
it is. It's probably pretty intimidating to come on this show.
Yeah, they've been really intimidated. They've called me, but they've never actually followed through with it. So if there's any bands out there that want to be on the show, just give Dave Cluck a call and leave a message for me.
Or send your audition tape to
send your audition tape.
Jeffrey Plummer, care of Quintessential Covina.
Nude photos,
and
fine.
Female bands or whatever.
That's 302 East Roland Avenue, Covina, California, 91723.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to close out on a video tonight?
We're going to close up on Jamie and a little music.
Great.
A little night music.
So see you next week. We may have a guest next week. Dave has somebody almost lined up, so we're not going to give that name out. But it'll be an interesting guest.
I might have a local band.
Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So anyway, see you next week, and thanks for watching again, because it wouldn't be anything without you.
Good night.
Watch that space shuttle landing.
Yeah.
Monday.
That's right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. See you, Covina.